sidelines. And I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Krishnan Venkat Ramesh, who is a business consultant, a business development consultant. Sir has over 30 years of experience in top MNCs like PepsiCo, Lipton, Cadbury's, and various other FMCG companies. Sir has held previous designations like the General Manager of Sales, Pepsi, Regional Commercial Manager, Pepsi, and Commercial Manager of HUL. A professional seasoned with years of experience, we are delighted, sir, to have you with us. And on that note, I hand the session over to you.
Good morning, all. Am I audible? Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. So, with so much of detailing by Rajkumar, for a few seconds, I have to take you all people out of this subject and bring you back sometime, because he has done so much of detailing that he would have filled you with all those ideas. This thing. So I'll talk about the American tennis legend, Arthur Ashe. Okay, he was the first black man ever to win singles titles in Wimbledon, US Open, and the Australian Open. So in the early 80s, unfortunately, what happened was he had to undergo a blood transfusion, and he contracted HIV during a heart bypass, actually. And he publicly announced his disease in 1992 and began working to educate people about HIV and AIDS. All over the world, he received letters from his fans, and one of which very conveyed, "Why God has to select you for such a bad disease?" He replied, "The world over, 50 million children start playing tennis. 5 million learn to play tennis. 50,000 come to the circuit. 5,000 reach the Grand Slam. 50 reach Wimbledon. 4 to semi-final. 2 to finals. And 1 to become the winner. And while I was holding the cup, I never asked God, why me? And today, in pain, I should not ask the Almighty, why me? Why only me?" This is, if I were to say, "God, why me?" about bad things, then I should have said, "God, why me?" about all the good things that happened in my life. So this is just something to take you out of that subject, and then I want to bring you back. Yes, this most of the development programs, I have worked in all these MNCs, multinationals. The development program is always training programs, and development programs are there where we conduct people for us every 6 months, 2-day programs and all. What we take end of the program is actually some mind blocks gets cleared. Here also in this everyone who is assembled here have some idea about the customer behavior. And there are many experts also, because I know that I'm going to get a lot of questions to answer. But end of the day, whatever we talk and this thing, if I'm able to clear some of the mind blocks, some of the new things through my experiences, I would be very happy. Now, to start this thing, I will start with a self introduction. Lucky that basically we didn't have normally because of want of time, the self introductions have been cut short. But yes, it also helps the speaker to express himself more and talk about the subject when he's doing his self introduction. See, I started my so I will link some of the customer behavior things during my self-introduction also, during all those career experiences. I consider myself, very ahead of time in terms of, things happen in my life that way. Every stage, enabling me to learn life ahead of people, boys or girls, boys or, basically men of my age. My childhood was actually, I was born in Calcutta, a big joint family. Because a big joint family, my parents sent me to my maternal grandmother's place in Nagarkoil. So I did my initial, from 6 months age, I was actually with my grandmother. And so the childhood, I lived with my grandmother. And most important thing, what happened in my life was the bedtime stories my grandmother used to tell, from great epics, from all those Panchadra, and she will also add some, stories of her own to make me somebody who is, basically know about what is honesty, what is feeling for your fellow people, what is good and what is evil, and what actually helps me even today. We those whenever we come to different difficult circumstances, you remember those stories, and you have some solution in mind. uh, After my class 6, I studied in Nagarkoil. Then my parents took me to Kolkata, where I did my further education up to graduation. Kolkata being a city of joy, lot of it inculcated lot of street smartness in me. Being in a lower middle class family, after my class 10 matriculation, I started working also, parallelly studying in morning and evening classes to complete graduation in commerce. Within that 5 years of post matriculation, I would have worked in more than 50 different organizations, all temporary jobs, leave vacancies. Job used to be like, billing job, labeling job in a newspaper company. Early morning they have to send dispatch all the newspapers to different locations. They have to catch the train, they have to catch the flights. So the labeling is very important, where which bundle is going to which. So these are the jobs I do. The intention was, basically some support to my family, some support to my studies, and also, basically you have that young generation, young thing, you have the urge to buy some things. So this is how, basically. And my first corporate job, I landed in Lipton after my graduation. Lipton, everybody knows it's a tea company. Okay. But see, what happened was, I joined in a division which is called Animal Feeding Stuffs Division, which is basically making of poultry feed and cattle feed. And that is the first business. It is if you see, the customer, what you see, and the consumer is different. You have to deal with those farmers who come, who has a poultry farms, and this thing, who is a customer. Again, the product who is going to eat is the cow and the birds, the chicken or the broilers. So this is where, basically the difference of, identify everywhere. You can identify those differences in all transactions, even normal transactions. Then after 6 years with Lipton, I joined Cadbury's in their ice cream business. Again, a difficult business. Ice cream, you have to decide fast, otherwise the product will melt. Okay, so the product has to be reached in the right temperature. Cold chain is very important to reach the right product to the consumer. So the ice cream business, again, I was there with this was actually a brand Dollops of Cadbury's. Then this business, what happened when Unilever, they had their Walls international brand, they want to launch in India. What they did was, to get the get the market ready market, they acquired all the small brands, like wherever regional brands, maybe they would have acquired some 15 such brands. And so to get the people who are working, and also the retail shops, to acquire those retail shops, so that they get a ready market. This is somewhere, basically this is organizational strategy, where a consumer, a devout consumer of a Dollops brand or a Gatorade brand, overnight he saw that, he or she saw that the brand vanished from the market, and they overnight they saw everywhere Walls. So this is basically some of the things which is definitely the customer behavior, or the brand, what he wants, it is not to his liking. When an organization takes a strategical call, that brands may or may not be there in the six. And then let me take to the my. I will carry on with my professional journey. So by now, Unilever merged all their companies, Brook Bond, Lipton, Ponds, and everything. So I started working in the Unilever setup in the Walls ice creams business. So I had got great exposure in terms of finance, supply chain, factory, sales, all those things, which helped me to really understand what are the customer preferences. And when you know the product, and this is the product, and this is what is going to land in a consumer or a customer hand, so you know that basically what he would want. When you know all the functions, when you are able to see a chocobar or a cornetto coming out of a machine, and you know what are the process involved and how it will come, how it will and maintaining the cold chain, how ideally it should go to the customer. So those experiences, when you get into all those things, you get that experience and the feeling of how your customer will perceive your product. Then I was there with Unilever till 2007. Before that, I moved to a different function in tea factory. I was heading in Gujarat 2-3 factories. I was handling the commercial functions and supply chain function. And then in 2007, regional commercial manager in South. I was handling the South region. Now, if you look at again, I landed in a difficult business where basically this was actually the Lays and Kurkure business, where we used to transport more air than the product. If you load a full truck of Lays or a Kurkure in a truck, in a 10-ton capacity truck, you will see that basically you have actually loaded only 3.5 tons of material. Again, this is a different product, different category, a lot of challenges. When you're the supply chain challenges, how do you reach the product at a better freight cost, productivity, all those things. This happens here. Then basically I was in commercial function. Then I moved to a different function where to handle the government business. I became the GM for the institutional business of PepsiCo, which included the juicer, the Pepsi soft drinks, and everything. Here again, I was handling the army, police, all those. They have the canteens and everything. So the families get these products, buy these products on concessional rates. So they're basically here again, the if you look at the sort of a customer you get, is these people are very low earning income group. 97% of the Jawans, or the families of the Jawans, are the customers here. They're very, very low income group. Now, they also have they have a system of coming every month twice to those canteens to do their groceries. They have a cap on their cards. You can buy only this much amount at a particular time. So this is where basically you have to reach the right product there. Something which lasts your household for 15 days. Something which is basically which is little price lower, so that basically he can accommodate all the products within that cap of 6,000. So these are many companies went and put like oats, this oats category does very well in these channels. So what they do is they put some 1 kg oats in these channels, and it so happened that all these if you go to any medical CSD canteen or today, you will see that these oats are some 3 months old, 4 months old, whereas smaller packs are 200 grams or 500, 400 grams, which would have which will sell very fast. So this is how you choose the product, understanding the customer and understanding his customer's ability to pay. So this happened. Then I left Pepsi in the year 2015. With my experience in this channel, I started on my own. I started helping the companies, associating with companies in setting up the right processes in these channels, because you need to understand the right processes, the right pricing, so that the business need to be, become viable. So I'm now connected with brands like Philips, Hershey's, Right Bite, GRB, then your Manna Foods, the Southern Health Foods, and I'm also in talk with many other brands. And this COVID time has given me opportunity in a lot of connecting with a lot of people, and definitely I would be signing up with another 10-15 brands in the once this thing is over, because this channel people expect somebody who can handle this, who can set the right processes. Once you set the right processes, it is only question of supply, demand and supply. That if you take care, things will, you can scale up the business fast. Now again, I also do due diligence, market due diligence for companies like ITC, where they appoint distributors. So they want somebody like me who understands the market, who understands people. So they want me to evaluate and give them, because ITC businesses, investments are 5 crores, 6 crores. Somebody, if you bring in a wrong person into this, what will happen is, if that distribution collapses, to bring back that distribution, that business, it takes some 5 to 6 months. So that is why they want somebody. So I would have done almost 2,000 evaluations till now for ITC. Also, basically, we have in this COVID has given me an opportunity to talk with people, and we are like-minded people. We are starting a startup very recently, where an app-based startup, where the manufacturers, hotels, service providers, everybody will be there, and we are planning a household doorstep service to all household. In each pin code, we have hired people, entrepreneurs, who would participate in this, and we are likely to give employment to more than 3 to 4,000 direct and indirect people in the days to come. And this has an opportunity to also, we can scale up to other cities and other towns. And some of my LinkedIn posts, now people are coming from Bangladesh and saying that, sir, can we have this? So this is what is basically my brief this thing about my introductions. Now coming back to the subject, how and why does a customer behavior change? Now, how do you change customers' behavior? Number one, uh, you know, it is not simply via digital or TV advertising or promotions or other traditional methods. It's something deeper. You need to influence the place where instinctive, automatic decisions are made. Today's buyers are very busy. They don't have time or energy, or basically, to weigh the merits of one item over the other in a store or online. They grab or click a favorite, move on. An estimated 90% of the purchasing decisions are made instinctively today. To get customers to choose your brand, you need to build a positive impression that reaches them on a subconscious level. This means discovering the images and stories that build positive associations with your brand in their minds, which is called the subconscious drivers. The moment people look at your brand, and what thoughts, what images, what experiences and feelings pop into your mind, into their minds, is very important. Then if you look at the people, basically, there's a concept of emotional marketing. The people talk about, try to implement this. uh, they try to reach the consumers on this level through emotional marketing, which is partly, which is basically, in most of the cases, these emotional marketing efforts have failed. Just taking a buyer on an emotional journey through an ad that makes them laugh or cry is often irrelevant to the brand or a business. Emotional benefits only work if they are rooted in your product experience. So it is very little surprise that many Super Bowl ads, like, basically, they give a bowl, and you eat it and all. When the actual product reaches that customer's hand, the ball will be half filled, and you have just basically killed his expectations. So these are emotional marketings are very, very, we have to be very careful in handling in the current situation where the consumer thinking and expectations are going on. So the key for a customer to feel a positive connection with a brand, you know it is not to communicate emotions. You have to actually, it has to be a emotional connections from coming from tapping into positive familiar ideas in consumers memories. Then next comes the communicating expertise. uh, you know uh, I was actually, I worked with one of the brand. uh, they they were doing the communication right, but somewhere there was, the product was not doing well. Then, basically we have to we just change the strategy of the marketing strategy of the thing, where basically we included some language correction in the language, the images, and some even music, please pleasant music to those campaigns. So which basically helped, which helped basically the to perceive the product on the subconscious level of the consumer, and it delivered good results in terms of some sales growth happened. There is also, basically in the market there is a people think that basically each customer is different. We will do campaigns for each customer, we will differently, we will, sir, you will add more cost to you, and it will not help. We have to actually focus and uh, treat all the customers alike. Because they are going to take your product, the similar product, which may reach a person in a posh post garden residence, or a some house in North Chennai, or something, a lower middle class house. So you have to be, your product campaigning and all those things should be in such a way that you treat all the customers alike. Then only basically the product will reach mass. uh, a little bit of this is how basically we these are the things, basically change in the marketing strategies people have to bring in to basically understand and to respect the consumer behavior. uh, you have to give a seamless shopping experience. I there are some today, like there are places where a consumer goes, he picks up a product in his this thing, the tray, automatically billing happens. He just walks based on his telephone or whatever this thing. He picks up the stocks and immediately the billing happens. So these are the seamless type of shopping experience today the consumer wants. Um, they don't have patience. They have a lot of other things to do. They have, the social media has kept them busy. They have to attend to so many things in social media. So they require seamless, anything seamless they want. We have to go, companies have to go multi-channel, because now this COVID has created a see, earlier our normal if you look at the business trends, online used to, any company, if you talk about any company like a bigger companies, who have a lot of products in the FMCG category, if you look at it, like a company like Unilever, their 3% or 4% used to be the online business. 11 to 12% is the modern trade, and the balance, the 85% or 80% of the business lies with the local kirana, local shop, the chettiar shops, and all this. So, but now post COVID, what is happening? The people's expectations are changing. They have restrictions to move around. So then basically more on the channel which is they would prefer. So this is what the changes every company needs to adopt to meet the customers expectations. Nowadays in a voice search also, they want in the mobile, they just want product to be, they will tell the product and voice search will come, and the product will pop in. So that is also again a thing which is which has become a trend now. you have to you have to actually build and maintain the customer loyalty. Always not digital. There has to be some human touch to this. Despite these growing digital trends, consumers still want a relatable, relevant, personal experience in the form of, say, information, human interaction. Still, the right personal approach that people look for. Sometimes, a discussion can convince over the phone can convince a customer. The key is to be able to seamlessly combine the two digital and human aspects to have more chances of success. Technology can be used to improve this function. Your customer base can be segmented carefully by analyzing data, and based on this, your customer's experience can be personalized. For instance, your most loyal customer can be identified digitally, and then a personalized thank you note can be sent to them. Health consciousness. This is becoming very, 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 very apparently a customer desire. Health consciousness and environmentality awareness. Business should keep in mind that nowadays more consumers consider total well-being and care for the environment to be important. They are concerned about both their external surroundings and their physical and mental health. Sustainability encourages customers to favor a brand more than those that do not promote health and the protection of the environment. For example, in the Philippines, there was a recent study where a growing number of fast food restaurants have refrained from using plastic straws, or appealing to customers who support environmental awareness is very important. So this is the businesses, need to have a deep understanding of customer behavior in order to achieve their goals. Nowadays, the focus is on the integration of technology, but at the same time, we need to maintain the balance between the digital and human touch. The key is to make adjustments according to what your customer want. The best way to do is that by letting them guide your decisions in growing your business. So we will see, these are the basically the thing about the customer behaviors and what we can do. But the reality, if you look at the reality, is what happens is, in an organization, do you think that all the decisions are based on customer behavior? No, it is not. Days of customer is always right is gone today. Yes, sir, you are right, but we can offer you better. That is more relevant today. Do you think a customer always looks at a pricing? No, because see, people have money. See, what has happened is this IT and all those IT boom has brought even in the rural and all those northeast people are coming, taking employment here. They have also become cash rich now. So it is basically what they do, what they want. See, if the pricing would have been always a criteria, then today Nirma would have been a bigger brand than Surf. It is in the rural, in the urban areas, pricing nowadays don't matter, unless you send your wife and ask her to buy. She may go look around what is most of the things she will buy, which is offering price this thing. But normal customer, normal people, basically, if you look at it, they don't have time. They just pick up what they know, what is there in their mind. This brand, this is this thing. They pick up and come. They don't negotiate also nowadays. Nowadays people don't negotiate also very for pricing. So but in the rural what happens, small go customer, like in the this category there are some ghadi detergents, fena, they're doing fairly very well. And do you think they don't actually they're lower priced, but what they do is they mostly concentrate on giving more money to the retailer. So there the customer has very limited opportunity to buy what he wants. If Fena gives a better pack, a better additional discount for the to the retailer, he will keep Fena. He will not touch the other Ghadi brand or anything. And next week Ghadi comes with one more scheme, so he will take away Fena and he will have Ghadi. So the customer will have multiple options. He may whether he may be wanting to buy Fena, but he may not get it. So these are there in the challenges around the rural, but that is also changing. That is also today changing. Customers are okay. You're not there having Fena, so I will go to the next shop. So that is what that attitude is now changing. Now, see, if you get a brand in our urban, if you go to one shop near your house, and if you go for a search for a particular brand, if you don't get it, what happens is next time you have a perception in your mind that brand will not be available. So you go to the other this thing, even though he might have ordered for that brand. So this is what the how it works in the market. Do you think attractive packing? No. Even attractive packing, because attractive packing, it will help once customer will pick it up, and then basically he will cut. If he's not getting what he wants, the taste or the utility, he will not touch it next time. You can give whatever and you can do all those innovations in packing, but he will not touch that brand. So it's basically a marketing strategy is always is complete activity. It has to be a complete activity, keeping in mind the end consumer, the customer in mind. From conceptualization of the product, okay, which is triggered mostly by the aspirational growth target of the organization, so that they can enhance their profits and so that they can grow. Then they link all those, because they have some strategy to build the business. That comes first. Then only they talk about how, okay, this is my strategy. This is within that strategy, how do I bring those customer behaviors. Again, most of the time, customer is actually becomes a guinea pig for these aspirations. We have to understand the process involved in entire marketing strategy, which has to satisfy not only the end consumer, end customer. It also has to host all the internal and external customers within the supply chain, value chain. Customer behavior is very, very, mostly instant. As I said earlier, it's not very planned. So it always depends on where he is, where he was during the day, where he's going to be in the next 2 to 48 hours. His decision to buy mostly depends upon his instinct and what is his immediate need, and of course the money, whatever he's having in his wallet. Hence, it has become very important that distribution weight and availability of shelf has become very, 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 very important today. See, I'll tell you what happens in any organization from my experience. See, if any organization says, no, this is my customer behavior in the market, we will give these products at these prices, these attractive, packing material, this huge visibility and all. If that is a strategy, that company will become diwala in no time. The first trigger which happens in an organization for strategy for growth is actually the source of growth. That is a terminology people use in that organization. See, common reality in any organization, if you look at it, 20% of the products deliver 75% of the business. So you have to protect that, number one. And that also becomes a growth aspiration for that product. So what they do is normally a company, most of the companies want to grow double digit. Double digits is the mantra for all the companies in their growth aspirations. So what they do is, okay, this is my 20% of the product, which is giving me 75% of the growth. So this product should grow much more than my total growth aspiration of the company. So if the growth aspiration say 10%, they pitch in for a 15% growth for these products. But mind you, all the fast selling products, okay, will have actually lower margins. So if you sell more of products which are lower margins, what you'll learn, you will reduce your profitability, and you have to touch what you have to get into productivity. Because the product is selling, it has established a selling price or a MRP in the market. So if you touch even from a 5 rupees to a 6 rupees, there can be the customer may or may not buy. So what happens is, very interestingly, actually, I've seen this. Very interestingly, what happens is, the productivity starts from the factory, and they will first touch how do I bring my factory costs down? So first they will touch the canteen expenses. Can we change the contractor so that basically he's currently giving a meal at 12 rupees? Can we reduce something we can give it at a 10 rupees? So these are the small changes, small productivity opportunities. They look at this thing. Or can we reduce a little bit of grammage? But actual reality is what happens. They will implement it, factory and they implement it. But one week, your market share goes up by 0.25% or 3%. The people in the sales or the marketing, they will go and do a party in 5-star, and they will spend whatever this factory has struggled to save. So this is what in the real organization, so many things happens like this. So the second set, the growth growth driver would be that they will look at the balance. Out of the balance, 80% of the products, the bottom line, which contributes to 10% of the volume, they will say, oh, these products are not doing well, we have to change this. So how do you change it? Here the idea of innovation comes. Okay, these are the 10 products, 15 products, which is not which is at the lower pyramid, lower end of the pyramid, which is not giving me volumes. So can we replace these products with something else, a new innovation? Then what happens is, management says, yes, good, innovate. You go to market, get consumer feedback and all those things, and what is the product you have to put? You just want to introduce, so put it, plan for it. So here the management will say, yes, but this product is giving you 10% of the volume currently. It should add to another 5. It should add overall 5% growth to this entire organization aspirational growth. So this is how the second set of products are decided. And the third set of products, which is another 15%, 25% of the products, which is basically the another set. There they will say, no, let it be there. It will support my other products, other SKUs, other this thing. So what we'll do, we will have a very soft growth targets. We have 5% of growth in the next year or something. So overall, if you look at it, 75% of the contributor will have a growth plan of around, say, 15%, which is actually, 75 becomes a 86.25. Then 10% of the contributor, which will which will have which needs to be taken out, and new innovation has to come down, which will have a 5%, which will contribute to overall 5% growth to the organization, which will contribute to 15. So 86 plus 15. Then the 15% of the contributor, which will grow by, say, 5%, minimum growth, which will contribute to 15.75. This is how.
Sorry, extremely sorry, sir. Apologize to interrupt you, but we're a little hard pressed for time. So just about another couple of minutes or so, sir. Just wanted to keep you.
Definitely. I'm just ending. I'm just closing it. Okay.
Great. Sir. Thank you.
Give me 2 minutes. So this is how the overall business. This is how the overall business of 100, becomes 117, which is again, overall growth of 17%. So this is how, and this is the factor actually decides what products should go into the market. And then they marriage the growth plans with the consumer behavior, and to implement these growth strategies. 17% growth is always becomes a non-negotiable in any company. What is variable is different perceptions about customer behavior. Customer said this, he wanted an opinion about this product, will become the thesis in the organization. And strategies are formulated, launch plans are done. Then in all these activities changes every day. Most of the plans remains within the office conference room and does not get implemented. Here also a lot of egotism happens in these organizations, where people will discuss this plans and everything. You have not told me anything earlier. You have not included me. You have not aligned me. All those egotisms all will happen in this. Definitely, most of the success, people will join together and celebrate. Where failures, people are blamed. So these cultures are actually main reasons for these cultures in organization is this. And all this also sometimes it creates some of the activities create a good team bonding, which HR will go and take a pride and tell every platform that we have done. So end of the day, everybody's performance is judged only on the constant factor of 17% growth. So this is how organization, the reality of the organization. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. We can talk. This is a broad subject. We can actually, normally I use a lot of inspirational videos and this case studies, but that is when we go for a 1-day session or a 2-day session. Thank you all for patient hearing, and any doubts, anything, I'm willing to answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Venkat Ramesh, for taking us through your journey step by step. And I think experience is the mother of all teaching. So you've really shared and imparted that hands-on experience with us. Thank you so much, sir. So we have one question by Mr. Ahmed, which asks, what type of businesses are heavily affected due to this given circumstance?
All which is not necessary has got affected.
Absolutely.
The beverages business, the ice cream business, all those things. Whatever is, say, Parle Britannia is doing very well because of biscuits are doing very well. Eatables are doing very well. People are actually consuming, as well as taking for precaution. They are taking storing more, buying more. So these are the businesses. The anything which is digital, which is an online platform, has done very well. So that is a future for also.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Absolutely agree. And people are also, like Mr. Rajkumar had also mentioned, the approach of consumers is also changing. It's no longer capitalistic. And like you said, if you're a non-essential business, then it's a little difficult given the current situation. So I think that's about it, sir. And due to the shortage of time, we're going to have to stop now. Thank you so much, Mr. Venkat Ramesh, for taking time off and for being with us today, addressing our faculty and students, and really giving us a hands-on experience, with your vast array of experience in various MNCs. Thank you so much, Mr. Venkat Ramesh, for joining us.
Asha, one more thing, actually.
Yeah.
I wanted to share one small photograph in this screen. Okay.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Just I missed my introduction.